Hey guys, so today we're going to do a super quick tutorial on how to scrape Google Maps with the Claude code. So I'm going to get straight to the point here. We're going to cover how to set up a very cheap scraper in Claude code in about like 10 minutes. And this is going to cost you about $1 per 1,000 businesses. So like getting 10,000 businesses is like 10 bucks, which is like for scraping like dirt cheap. And then so we're also going to show you, however, how to enrich owner names for those businesses. So let's say like you scrape 10,000, trades businesses in the US. You want to find the business owner's name for each of those individual companies. You can pop it into this like one API that we're using and basically get like 70% coverage on those owner names. So you're going to find verified owner names for like 70% of those businesses, which is like a great find rate. And then we're also going to cover how to get the actual contact info, so emails, phones, etc., for those owners and those businesses as well. So like the info addresses, as well as like the Dan at addresses, is the owner's name is Dan, for example. So yeah, super simple flow right here. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to go to localpipe.io right here. So that's linked down in the description as well. And you're just going to go get started, create an account. Super simple setup, takes like 2 minutes. And then you're going to get into the localpipe app here. And so what you're going to do, you're going to go to, let's move this guy here, go down to the API section right here. And then so you're going to go into API docs, and all you need to do is download your API docs as a markdown and then download the category CSV. And so obviously the API docs basically is going to tell Claude Code how to build this system and how to interact with our API as well. And so a great thing about these API docs is it actually includes instructions for Claude Code on how to use our API. So you can just like pop this in and it can start running automatically. And then the category CSV is a really nice add-on that I would recommend adding. So pretty much what this does, it's the list of all the 4,000 Google business categories. So like restaurant, plumber, for example, that Google Maps uses to categorize businesses. And so the problem with most scrapers is that, like, for example, if you were to run like a raw keyword with like an Amplify scraper, for example, so like put restaurants in there, it will scrape every single business that returns from the query of restaurants when it runs that scrape. And the issue is that Google Maps, with just like their regular business search, is really bad at categorizing businesses. So you'll get a lot of junk in there that are not restaurants. And so what this does is it gives the API the ability to category match on the type of business you want. So like, for example, if you're putting restaurants, we would only accept and scrape leads that have restaurant in their category. So that basically maintains like 100% accuracy when you're using scraping with the category CSV. So I'd recommend downloading both of these. And so yeah, so once you have both files downloaded there, so you can see both files there, you're going to take those, put those into a file, and then just give it to Claude Code. You're also going to want to include your API key, of course. So you just go copy that there, or just create a new key if you don't have one already, and then you're pretty much good to go. And then so in Claude here, once you have like, obviously your file attached here, all you need to do is just give it like literally these instructions. So just like use the two files included to build a local pipe GTM engine where I can explain what I need in terms of business search enrichment. So, finding, scraping Google Maps and then enriching that list of Google Maps businesses you got from that scrape for contact info. And then you will automatically process it. So that just means that it will like call our API and then do the search and then do the enrichment right after. And so, yeah, so I put this in. It took about like maybe like 5-10 minutes to build the full system out, and then pretty much just good to go. And then I gave this super simple instruction here. So I asked it to find me 200 awesome plumbers with websites. You can do that as a filter, and then enrich the owner names, business owner emails, and then business emails. So an owner email is like for example, if you find out that for the company Austin Plumbers, we find out that Dan is the owner of Austin Plumbers, we're going to find the email of Dan at, so the direct email address to reach out to Dan himself. And but if we don't find that owner email, we're going to find the business email as a fallback. And so what's really cool about business emails, these are like the info at, contact at emails of these local businesses, is that usually these actually sometimes get higher reply rates than the direct owner emails. And a lot of the time the owner is monitoring this exact email with like 2 or 3 other people. So they're likely going to see this email. So we usually see like maybe in some cases higher reply rates, even in trades, for business emails, especially depending on the industry. So yeah, so I gave it this super simple instruction. I did forget to add my API key, so I added this burner key right here that has since been invalid, but added that key right there, and then I told it to run it, and then it did the full processing. So it ran the scrape for 200 businesses in the Austin area that were plumbers, with websites, of course. And then it basically ran the enrichment off those as well. So it took that list of 200 and then ran the enrichment through the same API. and it found owner names for 74% of those 200, so 148. Owner emails, verified owner emails for 24% of those, so 48 out of 200. And then business emails is the fallback for 27% of them, giving you a total verified email coverage of 51%, which is honestly for like local business, like that's the best you're going to get. That's pretty excellent coverage right there, especially with these emails coming from the API already triple verified from LocalPipe. And so, yeah, you can see here some examples. So like, for example, we found out that James Bilodeau, I hope I'm saying that right, was the owner for Prefix Austin, which is an Austin plumbing company. And then they have a 4.5-star review rating on Google Maps. And then so we found the email to be james@bilodeau@prefixinc.com as the direct owner email right there. And of course, that is verified by us. And then so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so, of course, it gave us the results in our CSV right here that we can download. And so the cool thing is like, for example, if I wanted to, you can do anything you want with this API. So the really cool thing is that we have basically international coverage. So we can scrape any location that's on Google Maps in the world. So like all like 170 plus countries or however many are on there. And so like, for example, if you wanted to find like 10,000 restaurants in France that they must have like over 20 Google reviews and over 4 stars in their rating, and then enrich the owner names for those French restaurants, and then the owner emails for those owners, and then the business emails for that restaurant. We can do that as well. You can do like 100K if you want to, like if I wanted to do 100K like roofers and plumbers in like, for example, in the US, I can do that as well. So like you can do any location, any kind of industry, any review count, rating, if they have a website or not, if they have a phone or not, in the world. So you have unlimited filtering options with this kind of thing. And then you can push that to enrichment and then find 51% verified email coverage with this. So like, let's say, for example, you did this 100K roofers and plumbers in the US. Let's say you found 100K, and then with our enrichment processing, you would get 51,000 verified emails to reach out to these local businesses. So really cool system there. Yeah, so pretty much infinite stuff you can do with this API. So another cool use case actually, so we have a user of our platform of like many guys who also do this, who like this guy in particular, he targets commercial pressure washing companies. So he's a cold email agency. And so what he does is, of course, like he, gets commercial pressure washing companies as clients, and it runs cold email outreach on their behalf to target their specific service area to source like quotes and leads for that commercial pressure washing company. And so he has a full end-to-end system where he basically has like a tally form that new leads, when they're onboarded, they fill out all their information on that. So they fill out the service areas that they want to target for their cold email. They put in the industries they want to target. They put in the industries they do not want to target. And then it basically just, they hit submit on the tally form and then sends it to their VPS, which is running a few Claude code scripts. And then so what that VPS does is it now calls our API, does a full scraping and the enrichment, and then it filters on their behalf as well, and it does like verifies emails as well. But the emails already come verified from LocalPipe, but you can do like a second pass if you want to. Like the emails by default, like for example, this 51% here, these are going to be like a sub 1% bounce rate. Which is at least what we've seen from our own data tests. So you're going to get like, a sub 1% bounce rate by default from this data here. And then so, they pretty much have like a full end-to-end system. So lead submits a form, it does the, the scraping and then the enrichment completely automatically. And then it takes those leads and then pushes it to a new email biasing campaign. So it creates a campaign, fills in the templated copy, and then, does personalization on that copy, and then starts the outreach to reach out to like 10,000, 20,000 plus emails that they were able to get from LocalPipe. So super simple, super cool system they have there. So they pretty much just automated their client onboarding delivery end to end using our API here. So really cool. So there's infinite amounts of things that you can do with this API here. All you need to do is just go to LocalPipe here, create an account, sign up, get your API key, get your docs, and then just run with it, and you're pretty much good to go. So as per usual, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a question in the comments down below. I'm super active on YouTube comments there, so I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And hope you found this video useful. Hope to see you on LocalPipe soon. Ciao, I guess.